Hi guys, this is Edna. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about Victoria's Secret's fashion show. In honor of them, I've considered wearing pink, but if you watch my previous video, you would have known that there was this particular lady that was so upset about wearing her hair in the curly way. And I thought, well, curly with stripes, why not? Why not? Maybe she sees this video and she learns that we can wear whatever we want with our poofy hair and still look good. If you think I don't, that's your problem. Keep your opinion to yourself. Okay, so today we are going to talk about the show. There's a few things I want to cover, but let's just go to the highlights of the show. So, we saw the brand's iconic models. Not models, angels, which include the Hadid sisters, Adriana Lima, Ashley Graham, Candice Swanepoel, I don't know how to say her surname, sorry Candice, Alex Consani, who else was there? Alessandra Ambrosio, which I quite love, Irina, I love to watch them. Love to watch them. We also had some major debuts from some athletes. We have basketball player Angel Reese. We have the gymnastic Sunny Lee. And we also had some influencers, which is a bit controversial. We had some influencers, Quen Blackwell and Gabriela Moura. It's a Brazilian influencer. So the show started. This is I must say this was beautiful. So the show started with a pregnant model, which apparently was the first time that this was happening. Jasmine Tokes, she's pregnant of her second child, if I'm not mistaken, and then she comes with this pearl adorned outfit, and then the clamshell has like wings. And what she was wearing is a little bit see-through, so it's like a sheer mesh dress. It's quite beautiful. We had performances from Madison Beer, don't know. We had K-pop group Twice, Karol G, and my favorite, Missy Elliott. Now, just from the beginning, let me just say before we go into what other comments I found online, I quite like the show. I was just, I didn't watch it when it was live. I just watched it like an hour before starting this video. And I watched quickly, as in I increased the speed and I watched it for about like 15 minutes. Maybe it was just almost like the highlights, the best moments of the show. And I must say that this is very strange. I quite like it. I like the energy on the catwalk. I like the way each one of them has their own personality and they allow it to just come through when they are walking. The type of walking is like quite powerful as well, which I kind of love. Do I see the point of having such a big show just for lingerie? I don't see the point of it. I don't, but I must say that I quite enjoyed it. Could it be because I'm a huge fan of Karol J and Missy Elliott and I was just singing along while they were performing? Yes, it could be. But I found it quite fun. Extremely fun. For example, I didn't know who exactly was a model and who was an influencer. I only figured out who the ladies that were influencers because I saw it online. I saw people making comments about it, but I didn't really think, these are, influencers. Oh, this is an athlete. I didn't really think about it like that. So I don't really understand why people were complaining about it so much online. I find it a bit silly. But this is very complicated because it's beautiful to see the angels in a catwalk, but then at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, but it's this entire production thing only to show lingerie. Why does it need to be such a big thing? Could be, fair enough, a marketing thing. And I was reading on Elle magazine that they've mentioned that this year, Victoria's Secret decided to have Victoria's Secret, the brand, they decided to have their show on social networks, on like social platforms. So you had it on Amazon Prime. I watch it actually on YouTube. There isn't like a big coverage of it on TikTok, for example, but I saw the highlights of different parts, different models, which was quite nice to see, and I could see that the engagement was quite huge. Even on YouTube, there's like roughly like 1 point something million people pressed on the like button on YouTube, which is very interesting to see, because in a way they understand that they need to catch the attention of the younger generation. I'm a millennial, by the way, and it was quite fun for me to watch because I never watch it on TV, so I don't even know. I don't even know which channel I will watch it, so that's how much attention I pay to it. But because I consume YouTube like a crazy person, I saw it popping in. I thought, oh, Victoria's Secret show is popping out. So as a strategy, I found it quite good, because they literally caught a completely new audience that maybe in the past didn't pay as much attention to them. And there was this, a few years ago, just before they decided to come back last year, we had all this conversation about the lack of diversity and apparently models not having a good diet before the show. I'm not sure if that should change so much. In terms of diversity, yeah, you can see it's happening. You can see models with different models with different bodies, completely different ones, from the most slimmest ones to plus size models. And yeah, it's fun to see. I've never watched, for example, just for reference, I never watched Rihanna's shows, as in the show that she had for her lingerie brand. I never watched it. I think it was on Amazon Prime as well. So I've seen photos, so I know roughly what happened, and I know I've read about it a little bit online, so I know what happened. So it kind of made me feel, when I was watching Victoria's Secret show, it made me feel a bit like, okay, this is maybe what Rihanna's show or Savage Fenty's lingerie show looked like, which it looked fun. It looked fun. I love that they brought Missy Elliott. Again, I'm a huge fan. I'm a 90s baby. I love Missy Elliott. Love. Just watching her there made me feel like, oh, I'm dreading this. I would love to be there watching it and dancing with them. I would love it. It's interesting that they brought a singer that not everybody, that it's not like a 90s baby, would know who she is. Which is kind of a mixed feeling, in the sense of, okay, we are putting the show in social media, so we know that we are going to get to the much Gen Z, let's say. But at the same time, they brought people that would pretty much entertain the millennials. So I found like quite a nice balance. And one thing that I found extremely interesting, but it could be because some of these models, for example, you have like Adriana Lima, Alessandra Ambrosio. These are models that are like 35 plus, which is not something. I know the models, like pre-established models that are in their 40s, they have appeared on some runways as well. It's just seeing them there and seeing them looking beautiful as always, having fun. It was kind of like cool to see, because you're in the fashion industry or entertainment industry, it kind of feels that people slowly are going to be replaced by newer versions of them. So it was quite nice to see them there. It was nice to see that even though this brand has struggled with so many issues in the past, it feels like, at least for these models, they feel like that they are still confident to go and be part of the show. So I find that quite unique. I don't know if in the future I'm going to be a bit like, shouldn't have said that, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the show quite a lot. Again, I don't see the point of having a big show for lingerie, but it was fun to watch. It's the kind of show where I feel that it entertains me more, that makes me feel like I want to purchase something. I don't know how you feel about it, but this is the feeling I have. Or maybe because I'm not really the type of person that I see something online and I'm going to straight away buy it. I'm not that impulsive with my shopping, but seeing the show makes you kind of see it on my memory. Oh, okay, once I need lingerie, maybe I can go and visit Victoria's Secret shop. But to be honest, at least here in London, I don't know in your situation how it is, but in London, the prices I see at Victoria's Secret are not too different from other high street shops. So it feels a bit like, oh, I may as well go there. At least it looks fun. They have like a diverse things to choose from. So it's a fun shop to go to, and I love the perfume, to be honest. I found this article in Elle that they say, the show streaming strategy is telling. Rather than securing a television deal, the format that once brought them millions of viewers, Victoria's Secret pushed the show to social media platforms, Amazon Prime, and their own channels. It's a tacit admission that they can no longer command the cultural real estate that they once occupied. They are not shaping the conversation, they are desperately trying to remain part of it. Again, this will go back to what I was discussing before. Victoria's Secret as a show, they had to adjust themselves. There is no way to moving forward unless you're willing to take feedback, learn, and take the steps forward. So I don't think that criticizing them at this stage is the best idea. Constructive feedback, absolutely, but if they were smart enough to think, okay, we are not going to be able to have the same quantity of viewers on a regular television deal, then okay, let's use our own channels and save a little bit more money with them, really, because appearing on TV, I can only imagine how much they used to pay for it. But hopefully this format works a little bit better, because realistically, if they are trying to reach millennials, Gen Z, you're not going to find them on TV. You're going to find them on social networks. So for me, this strategy was good. If it wasn't for Elle, I understand. But for me, as a strategy, was quite good. Moving on, I checked on TikTok what people were saying about the show. I noticed that the engagement, especially on Victoria's Secret's page, was quite good. So there were some things I noticed on the show as well, and I wasn't quite sure why was it. But I saw this video where the person in particular is discussing why Gwen Blackwell was wearing two garments, which I did notice, but I didn't really think through what it could be. So let's find this video. Give me 1 second.
OMG, why does she have those black undergarments under her stuff? That's so ugly. Well, let me explain it to you. Oftentimes we do runway shows, and if your outfit doesn't like fit appropriately, they'll put undergarments on so that you won't have like a wardrobe malfunction. Because the worst thing they could have done is not put them undergarments on her, and then she went on the runway and like fell out, and then y'all would have had way more to talk about. Regardless, it's still 8, because honestly, the black undergarments match the black shoes, so y'all really reaching a little bit, because it's still cute.
Yep, completely agree with her. Apparently there is also a wardrobe malfunction, which I didn't see on this particular video. This particular video that is like an hour long, but people on TikTok, they find anything. Let me just find this video. Wardrobe malfunction. Here we go.
Samurai sword on my back.
Yeah, that's not good. I didn't see it on the video today, but I know it happened, and it's a bit awkward. But this happens in every show anyway, regardless of being Victoria's Secret or not. One more show where there is a wardrobe malfunction is really not a big deal. At least nobody, as far as I know, nobody fell, which for me, that's already quite good. There's another video where this person is discussing, is making comments about the casting of some influences on the show, when in reality there are other models that would be a much better fit to the show, rather than having people that are not really trained models per se. Let me find a video.
Just because you have a pretty face does not mean you should be walking the Victoria's Secret runway. I've been modeling for almost 4 years. I've done New York Fashion Week twice. So I think I'm allowed to say whatever I want about last night's Victoria's Secret show. No one would let a model play in the WNBA championship. No one would let a model go compete for Olympic gold. So, my question for you, DM casting, why are we letting Angel Reese and Suni Lee walk the Victoria's Secret runway? What gets even worse is letting influencers walk the runway. I do not care how beautiful you are. If we are calling this the Super Bowl of fashion, because that's practically what it is, you can't just let anyone on the field. No matter how silly it seems, it is so beyond unfair to the girls who have worked their butts off to get to the Victoria's Secret casting, thinking that they could possibly be casted, signed models who have dreamed of becoming a Victoria's Secret angel, and their spots are given to influencers and athletes. I am so sick and tired of the inclusivity bullshit. Let modeling be its own thing. No matter how silly it seems, you can compare the Victoria's Secret fashion show to a giant thing in anyone else's respective field of work. Like, it's just not fair. And I did not go to the casting. Like, this has nothing to do with me personally. Is it a dream? Obviously, it's everyone's dream. But there are some people who actually put in the work, get signed, do modeling, do runway seasons. They can, like, actually kind of almost grasp this dream. And then their spot's taken by Quinn Blackwell. Do you know how big of a fan I am of Quinn Blackwell? Love her. Her videos kill me. I love her so much. Get her off of it. Get her off. Why is she walking for Victoria's Secret? This entire year, I have felt so uninspired as a model in the modeling world. It is so oversaturated, and this Victoria's Secret fashion show just proved my point exactly. It's too oversaturated. I'm gonna make 2 other videos, one of all the things that I really liked about this year's show, and another video about the things that I did not like.
This is very complicated because we do now see influencers becoming actors. We see them modeling. I think what isn't, if we're going to think about this in an emotional way, we will say, oh yeah, of course, this is terrible. There's a lot of models that have been on the market as models, obviously, for a very long time. They have probably tried really hard to have an opportunity to be on Victoria's Secret show because, again, a lot of people watch this show, so it would definitely improve their careers. But then at the same time, I don't know, should we adjust to the reality as it is now? Influencers, they have a huge following, they are relevant enough to be invited to a show. They are not there just because they are popular. They are there because they have an engaged audience that is definitely going to be happy to see them on the show, especially when these particular influencers don't have a certain type of body that you would imagine on the Victoria's Secret show. So I think it was positive to adding these influencers. I don't see it as a negative thing. But then again, I'm not a professional model, so I'm not really sure how people feel about this, but for me, I see it as positive because sometimes, realistically, you don't look like a typical model, so you cannot even imagine yourself having a career as a model. So in that case, you try other channels in order to be made relevant, as in becoming an influencer or within other things that you could do. So just let the girls live their dream. Who wouldn't like to be on that bloody show? It's so hard. You're almost naked. On top of it, on high heels. It's such a hard place to be in the first place. But it is cool. It is cool. We like it. I don't have any problem with seeing athletes on there. No, it's not like any person can be an athlete. Can you even compare? You couldn't even be an athlete even if you wanted to. As much as it's stressful for models, for professional models to not have the opportunity to be in these kind of places. I don't know. This is the world we live now. Even us regular people that have regular jobs, we have our problems too. We are here fighting with AI. So I'm guessing you need to fight with influencers. It's odd, but I don't think influencers are taking the roles of models. I just think the industry is changing, and probably models need to find a way to adapt to it. That's just what I believe. I also noticed that some people were complaining about the performance of the K-pop group Twice. And I must say that it was the performance that I liked the least. But then I'm, I wasn't really aware of their, as in, I don't really follow K-pop groups. So I didn't know who they were in the first place. And maybe it wasn't the kind of performance that we're expecting to like blow out my mind. I think it was like okay. Maybe this is just an opportunity for them to like improve on their future performances or adjust themselves a little bit better to, to the place where they are. But it was okay. I don't think this is my place to criticize. It's not like I can't sing and dance at the same time. So, but let's have a look at what this TikToker was saying about this.
Victoria's Secret, you are dead wrong for asking that K-pop group to sing live. What was going on? And y'all know how it get when the secondhand embarrassment seeps in. My butt was clenching, like my butt was so tight. I was so embarrassed for them. Does that usually happen to them? Who are they? Also, the bodies is tea. I did not know that the K-pop groups would stick like that. I did not know. But you know what? I'm going to give them grace because, this is a big stage. It's live. Millions of people are watching. They was probably just nervous, but Now, Missy Elliott, however, I'm liking the performance. I like it. I turned the Victoria's Secret fashion show off. I just turned it off because I saw everybody I wanted to see. Angel Reese, extremely tea. Y'all are haters, and you could never look like her. I could never look like her. And that doesn't bother me because I am grateful that my eyes can see her. You feel what I'm saying? Also, I did not know that Gwen was that little. She looked little, but her body is so it's sculpted. Wow. It was good. It was good. I saw some thickness up there. The thighs was thighin' a lot of the time. Okay, the makeup is makeuping. I like this. It was nice. What y'all think?
It was fun. At the end of the day, the show was fun. It was fun. So, and then last but not least, the hate is gonna hate. There was this particular TikToker that wasn't really happy about the diverse cast that we saw on Victoria's Secret show. Some people do have preference for the old school shows where they could aspire to look a certain kind of way. But I don't know if it's healthy for people to still have such a harsh opinion about this kind of show. Let me just show you so you can have an idea.
Cancel me, but I don't want to see one fat girl on the runway tonight for Victoria's Secret. Because the whole idea is they're angels. They're supposed to have this unachievable, unrecognizable, insane body. And then when we bring in normal models to do that, because they're still models, they're still beautiful, they just have different bodies, that's not the point of Victoria's Secret. And let me make this clear, I want no one that even relatively has my body. I only want the unachievable, skinny, big boobs, big butt, that's who I want to see. No slick backs, no neutral colors, no nudes, no skin tones. I want colors, glitter. I want the Victoria's Secret angels back tonight. I want a skinny Barbie, not a fat Barbie.
Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if people make this kind of video just because they want engagement in their own videos, or if they genuinely think about the show in this particular way. How can you say that you only want Barbies to appear on the show? What kind of world are you living in? And she looks fairly young herself, probably younger than me. I don't really. How can we expect? As in, how can part of us expect a brand to move forwards and start being diverse with their cast? But then at the same time, we also have the public that enjoys looking at models in this, putting them on such a high pedestal because that's the ideal way of looking or that's the ultimate beauty, being slim, skin and tall. And then she said big boobs, big bump, which is a bit silly because the models, they just have regular bodies, really. You can, honestly, with the internet, you can never win. The show was good. I was happy to watch it. First time that I watched, I want to say the highlights. It's the first time that I watched so much of the show. Did I put on speed 1.2? Absolutely. But I watched a lot of the show and it was fun. It was fun. I don't have anything negative to say. I'll probably buy some of the lingerie in sometime this year, sometime next year. They caught my attention because they appeared on YouTube, so that strategy obviously worked for me. Obviously worked on TikTok as well. I didn't really check on Instagram, but I thought on TikTok we will get more people comment more about this kind of stuff, so I like to check it there. But I don't know. Well, what do you think about the return of the show? Do you think that this Victoria's Secret show should continue going? Do you think that they should stop? Do you think that they are adjusting or listening to the previous feedback? I don't know. What do you think?